ICE has seen a surge in its impact since March, as approximately 1 million foreign workers have left the U.S. workforce, while the Department of Homeland Security (DHS) has officially deported about 200,000 individuals. It appears that nearly 1 million others have voluntarily exited the country. As former President Trump follows through on his promise to remove those living in the country illegally, certain American towns are beginning to look like ghost towns, emptied of the populations that once fueled them. Critics argue that ICE's enforcement methods are harsh and dehumanizing, especially as reports emerge of masked agents making arrests without immediate identification. However, DHS defends these tactics, citing policy that allows officers to identify themselves only when it's practical and safe, usually not during chaotic confrontations with crowds of onlookers. Supporters say that fugitives, especially those with criminal records, have no place in American society. Even if their removal triggers local population collapse, the result is a term circulating widely online, #disappeared in America. This refers to immigrants being apprehended and taken to undisclosed locations without public documentation or transparency. While activists compare this to kidnapping, DHS insists these detentions follow legal protocol. Detainees are often held in dorm-like facilities equipped with gyms and recreational areas, and are even offered $1,000 and a plane ticket if they choose to leave voluntarily. Ironically, fear spread by the administration's critics may be one of the strongest drivers of this self-deportation wave. Political opponents and the media, in portraying the Trump agenda as a draconian crackdown, may have inadvertently helped accelerate it. The very panic they claim to protest is causing many undocumented immigrants to leave on their own, thus fulfilling the administration's goals without direct enforcement. In states like California, these shifts have massive implications. Entire communities are changing, and industries that once relied heavily on undocumented labor are scrambling. While this causes distress for business owners dependent on cheap, illegal workers, others view it as an opportunity for legal employment to thrive. Law-abiding workers now have a better shot at jobs that were once unavailable due to an underground labor market filled with underpaid and undocumented laborers. But with the loss of illegal labor comes an uptick in wage theft. In cities like Pomona, reports are surfacing of day laborers being hired and then not paid for their work. Advocacy centers note a rising trend of employers threatening to call immigration when workers ask for the wages they're owed. This problem is growing worse in the aftermath of recent raids, with dozens of cases emerging at places like Home Depot. Strangely, while activists are vocal about worker abuse, they rarely name the businesses responsible. This raises suspicion. Are the employers hidden from scrutiny? If a major brand like Target or Best Buy were involved, it would be front-page news. The silence suggests that these businesses, too, may be skirting legality, perhaps even in their own immigration status or operations. This exposes the darker side of illegal immigration, what some have called a form of modern slavery. Workers brought into the country illegally often remain trapped in abusive labor situations, unable to speak out or seek justice. And now, as enforcement ramps up, this exploitative system is starting to unravel. Sanctuary cities that once provided a shield are no longer safe havens, and the underground economy that flourished within them is imploding. To address the situation, DHS has expanded a voluntary deportation program offering financial incentives to undocumented immigrants willing to leave on their own. The fact that so many are accepting this offer reveals a troubling truth. The American dream they hoped for never arrived. Instead, they found danger, instability, and betrayal by the very people who claim to help them. Leaving now avoids the harsher consequence of deportation, which includes long bans on re-entry amid all this. This continues its operations, but the bigger story is how many people are walking away on their own. Despite the outrage, despite the noise, illegal immigration is no longer sustainable for those caught in its web. The combination of fear, exploitation, and tightening enforcement is pushing many to give up on the life they once dreamed of. That leaves behind a new reality, one where the myth of sanctuary is being replaced with a reckoning for all involved.